NFL on EA Sports, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. It's the Chicago Bears and the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
At the confluence of the three rivers, the Ohio, the Allegheny, and the Monongahela, we are here at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and for both of these teams that we're going to see, Charles, the future is kind of right now. You know, this is something you only see a handful of times in an NFL season where you've got a rookie quarterback versus a rookie quarterback.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the era we're in now. Because our dads, they didn't see rookie quarterbacks go against each other. In fact, it could be 2-3 years before they even saw the playing field. Nowadays, you get drafted, they expect you to play earlier, and these guys as competitors, they'll take their lumps early, but they'd rather be on the field.
Here's Cairo Santos now, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Pittsburgh. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They'll be led out by the former Buckeye, the young rookie QB from Ohio State.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
They'll run it. Warren. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
A yard all they need, but it's third down. On the run, it's Warren. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Quick slant here to Woods. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on third down. Now a run with Warren. And down inside the 15 he goes. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Right side complete. That's Woods. It'll be a gain of 5. And that's going to bring up second down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
From the 9, 2nd and 5. Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
How about this opening drive? Play number 12 now. This is third down. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Steelers are on the board first here this afternoon.
Nothing like understanding where your escape hatches are as a quarterback. Here he's looking, but he knows he doesn't want to force anything. So when nothing avails itself, he slips past the rushers, takes it right up the middle, and takes it into the end zone.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And not willing to risk a return, this ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
And you'd think as a young QB there'd be some nerves leading an offense out to start a game, but haven't seen any sign of them right now. And speaking with him earlier this week, sensed that the pressure wouldn't get to him. He feels comfortable being the face of this offense and shouldering the expectations on game day, even if he doesn't quite have the years of experience other quarterbacks do.
Now 2nd and 9. First carry for DeAndre Swift. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on third and just a yard.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage. And that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
And this is going to be incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
Here comes the Bears punter now. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked out at about the 3-yard line. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And a nice pickup as this one gets them to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this second down call after that type of a game.
2nd down and 3. Here's Warren. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 41 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
We are watching a runner having a really nice game. Carrying it very well. Vision is excellent, but boy, look at the help he's getting. Offensive line, I think they're pretty eager to block for him.
They go play action here on 1st down. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. That's sacked by Tremaine Edmonds. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Up the middle they go. Warren. And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. He digs them partway out of the hole that they're in. It's an 8-yard gain, and it makes it 3rd and 12.
That was another good run, and he's having an excellent day. And right now, I don't think his team could have any more confidence in handing him the football.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Screen play, Johnson. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
You know, in boxing, they throw in the towel. In this case, you just kind of wave the white flag, and you think to yourself, if he could just get past that initial wave, he's got a chance to get free. But that screen, it was going nowhere from the start. It forces a 4th down.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bears take over. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here. They will run straight ahead with Swift. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 16 yards is the pickup there and a 1st down for Chicago. Nothing too fancy, just a carry up the middle, but a successful carry up the middle against this 3-4 defense.
And to be able to do that, what do you have to control? The nose guard, right? Got to be able to move him. Otherwise, you're not getting anything up the middle. Nice job by the center. Got a little help from one of his friends playing guard.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
To throw, Williams. He's got the connection to Moore. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
From the gun, here's Williams. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Caleb Williams A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Bears are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
We really didn't have any doubt that he was going to be one of the top-rated rookies coming into the league, especially as a runner. And he's given us no reason to change our minds. That's a big-time run, and the production that he showed us in college is translating very well into the National Football League.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Now the point after try for Santos. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Here's Howard throwing after the interception. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. T.J. Edwards coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Back to throw. Howard. He'll find Metcalf. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
And this offense on third down today, they've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Running from the gun, Johnson. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now a toss for Swift left side. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Williams from the gun on 3rd down. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not through any fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, you would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun in this contest. Now let's see if they can actually make something happen and put more points on the board behind his efforts.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, Charles, if they can play complementary football and get that passing game going as well. From the 46, here's 2nd down and a yard. On the give, it's Warren. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 58 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. Well, I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Warren. And the ball is knocked out. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. But he has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
Onto the field now come the Bears. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there, it was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. 2nd and 6. He'll get this complete to Calvin Austin. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 31-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Warren. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 10 more there and another first down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
2nd and 8 coming from the 19. Up the middle they go. It's Warren. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Jalen Warren scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Steelers are an extra point away from evening this one up. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up. Meaning, when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and we are tied at 14. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told, and the capper, a 19-yard touchdown run. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Throwing is Williams. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. To the air, Williams. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have the Bears' first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Here's a handoff to Swift. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd down and 3. They'll go play action here with Williams. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
He was trying to get that one out to his running back out of the backfield, but that one was read and timed perfectly, and they were able to break it up.
The Bears on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. To throw, it's Williams. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Well, you can absolutely feel the thought process there. They just gave up the touchdown. So in the huddle, they're telling each other, you don't want to give it back now on a 3-and-out. Nice job of making sure that they wouldn't, and they pick up the first down.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
Second and 10. They run out of the gun with Swift. And he'll get this pretty close to a first down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 33. 42 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And he will have the Bears first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Once again, it's Swift. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
Here's Swift. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Here's a handoff to Swift running left. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. DeAndre Swift, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Bears have taken the lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Steelers offense and their running back Jaylen Warren headed back onto the field. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big hole after big hole to run through in this first half. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's second down.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Looking to throw. Howard over the middle. That's caught by Metcalf. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Howard, not wasting time, going right back to DK Metcalf. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. A good passing down here, and they send 3 receivers to the right of the formation on 2nd down. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 39. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Looking to throw. Howard. Now a screen set up for Johnson. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Back to throw. Howard. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The ball mere inches from the white line on 3rd and goal. Warren. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Boswell for the extra point. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And the Bears going to get one more possession in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33. From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. That's to the speedster Olamide Zaccheaus. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Williams now. A final shot before break. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a tie ball game here heading to break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now the Bears offense set to go to begin the third quarter. Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the third quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one. And we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee Wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Williams. That's complete. Romadunze. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 88 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. Going to be some contact going on.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. Play action. Now Williams. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. We talk a lot about setting the tone to start the game. Well, you want to start the tone right in the third quarter as well, and nearly lost a football there in their first drive.
And sometimes we overdo it when we talk about halftime adjustments and what teams are going to do. Most of the time it's just a matter of executing the game plan you brought in. But I'll guarantee you, they didn't draw that play up on the whiteboard at halftime. They're fortunate to retain possession.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The home team's offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And as we take a look at some of the highlights, we see just how impactful he's been. He and his quarterback have such a great chemistry together, and it's been on full display throughout the contest. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Now Howard throwing to start the drive. Complete to Austin here over the middle. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. A handoff for Warren. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. Second down.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Operating from the gun, Howard. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, as we all know, possessions are crucial in a tie game, and let's face it, I really didn't need to tell you that. You already knew it. So when he sees he's got nothing good going, an excellent decision to just send that one to the sideline.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle, complete. That's Warren. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Howard. A short one there to Freiermuth. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. 2nd and a couple. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. In motion right, that's Metcalf. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Now a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Howard. This one finds Austin out right. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Howard. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he will have a Steelers first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Back to throw now on 1st down. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle. Third catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down.
And that's well executed there on third down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. On the run, it's Warren. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. They'll run it. Warren. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Howard now from the gun on 3rd down. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And that drive is going pretty darn well. 3 previous times converted on 3rd down. But on that one, the defense rose up and said enough of that.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Boswell's kick is good. And with it, they'll take the lead at 24-21. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Chicago offense set to get started. The drive will start with an option going left. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Swift going to try up the middle. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
A short throw there. That's to Smythe, the tight end. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 3. On the handoff, this is Swift. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Looking to throw is Williams. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Final minute now of the third quarter. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it, but don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive going.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. It's a gain of 4, and it gets him the first. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run here with Swift. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, the guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
So a big one coming now for Cairo Santos. From the left hash, this from 34. Santos' kick is up and through. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The home team's offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this fourth quarter. Yeah, he did not want to go down there as he carries tacklers for a solid gain of 9.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Howard out route, and he connects with Freiermuth. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Ball on the 40 now. Here's a 2nd down and 6. Over the middle, he hits Austin. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. He'll get the hook up there to Woods. And he'll be down at the 46. Well, they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8. A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. On the give, it's Warren. And some space here. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position could get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his 1st drop, his 2nd drop of the game. Now run with Warren. And not much, maybe a yard down to the 23.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've had plenty of success. 8 conversions, looking for a 9th. This is 3rd and 9. And that will be incomplete. Jalen Johnson that time able to knock it away.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Boswell's kick is good, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw, Williams. He'll drop this one off to Swift. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. And Pittsburgh with 6 defensive backs in the game here on 3rd down. Throwing is Williams. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have the Bears first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
This is a nice job of just taking what the defense is going to give you on 3rd down. You're not looking for a big play downfield. You just want to find something that can get you past the marker. They found it and were able to keep the drive moving.
Here's a handoff to Swift. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Here's a 2nd and 8. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. From the gun, here's Williams. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And boy, he had the marker square in his sights, but a good tackle's going to leave him about a yard or so short. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that's going to make it 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So they'll trudge off the field with a bitter taste in their mouths after that failed 4th down conversion.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of analysis there on the sidelines. Was it the right call? Was it against the right defense? Should they have even gone for it at all? Will that change what they do going forward in this game? A lot of questions to be answered by them. The defense doesn't really care. They're like, bring it on again. We'll stop you the next time, too.
And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. Howard. That'll be caught left side by Woods. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here's Warren. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Back to throw. Howard. Out to the flat here for Johnson. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve, and that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. Looking to throw. Howard. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset.
We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Second and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Back to throw. Howard. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Robert Woods from 19 yards away.
And the Steelers are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead.
They have to love seeing that from their young quarterback here in the 4th quarter, able to further that lead with a touchdown pass.
He didn't go turtle, did he? And you know what I mean by that. I had an old coach used to say all the time, hey, when we have a lead late, don't just tuck in and try and ride it out. Go out and play and extend the lead. And that's what he did.
Extra point now by Boswell. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that drive goes 8 plays.
And it ends with a Robert Woods touchdown reception.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
So now the Bears down by 10, just over a minute 40 to play. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here's 2nd and a yard. To throw, it's Williams. Gets this to Moore. Well, they need to score, and score quick. 1 timeout remaining. Final minute, 1st and 10.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
To the air, Williams.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. To throw once more, here's Williams. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 42.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. And again, back to Kmet. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Williams. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Now the question is obvious. Do you try to kick the field goal right here knowing that you need 2 scores? I would be thinking about it if I were on that sideline. Get the field goal now, try and get the touchdown later.
Here comes 2nd down. Williams going to look to throw again. To the left side, into the hands of Adunze. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A higher scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League, but fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. How'd you like to be those defensive coaches, though? That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared. But executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers earn the win at home as we say so long from Pittsburgh.